and what I need peace and I need balance. But not only do I need it, that is something that I'm able to share out. That's one of my spaces. Just giving you an example. There is something that each of you has. You have something that you're a natural at. And often if that's just who you are, you don't even notice it. And you think everybody else ought to have it too. Because you don't think it's anything special about you. It's nothing unique. Because like, well, this is simple. Just do this, do that. It's not a big deal. Some people who are really good with technology, it's so simple to them. And those who it's not simple for, they would almost rather throw the thing down because it's frustrating. And I was on a call once. It was a group, and there were some older people. So sometimes generationally, it's a bit of a challenge. Not for everyone. That's not a rule. But in this case, I remember the lady. I could almost picture her, and she just could not get the item that was put in the chat. The people who were over it, they were delicate, they were gentle, they put it in there and they talked her through it. She never could get it. And when it was time to go into the breakout session, you could hang it up. I think they fixed it so she could just stay where she was and they can meet her where she was. Everybody else was able to do what they needed to do, but she just couldn't do it. Now that lady's brilliant in something. The technology wasn't it. So those who are naturally gifted in that, I think, well, it's not a big deal. That's just something that they had, you may have, but it doesn't mean everyone does. Now, the area of strength that she could have, everyone doesn't have that either. It may come natural. Some people are natural speakers. It's comfortable. They have something to say. They get up and they say it. They're able to express themselves. Others, whew, not so much. Doesn't mean if it's about to kill them, still not able to hardly do it. But they have something else. The point is, we all have something, and it takes time and it's worth the effort to spend time and figure out some of what that is, because it's more than one. But I just want you to consider that your surplus is what you have and you have more of. What resources do you have? Right? You don't have to raise your hand. You could have an abundance of money. Could have an abundance of time. You might have a lot of time on your hands where you can be creative. You might be creative. Some people have a lot of friends, a big network circle. Not everybody has that either. My point is, you have something that means something to you and that helps you. And it's likely that surplus of whatever it is can also be used to help others. It takes some time to navigate that space, identify it. And one of the questions could be, what have people told you about yourself? Even if they say you're quick on your feet, you always have a comeback, you know what to say, you're able to handle yourself. Well, that's some strength. And that's some quick wit. That's something that not everyone has either. Some people walk away thinking what they should have, could have, or would have done or said, but they didn't think about it at the time. Some of us might not have that. Others are very patient. They can endure any trial or situation. They are just calm. I've met some people like that, and I met this one person. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. He said, yeah, just patience is my thing. I'm like, that's good. It would be no road rage if everybody had what he had. And I don't even think he was trying. It was just him. Patience. He didn't mind waiting for what he wanted. And I'm guessing he got it. But much of the time, some of the time, because he waited calmly. But that some may call that a gift because others say, "Ooh, I need more patience. I need more patience." But the thing is, you have something. All of us have something, and you tap into your overflow. Are you aware of your natural qualities or learned skills? Some things you've learned along the way. And I'm going to stay there for just a second because whatever you've been through, whatever your struggles or challenges, you've learned something, even if it's not to do that again. I don't want that again. Or I know how to avoid that. It's kind of like touching the hot stove when it burns. You don't want that again. We've gotten some bought knowledge. We might have bought it, it costs a lot, but we have it now. What is it that you have learned that nobody can take from you? You don't have to ever sit at anybody's desk or in front or behind a screen to learn that lesson again because you already got it. You got it good. There's some things you have learned and you know how can that be useful? How is that useful for you? And it could even be useful for someone else. I'm just saying, as one I've heard it said, you have wealth under your feet. You got a wealth of something. And your surplus, I'm just going back over this in case you need to fill it in, and it's to reinforce too, consists of the qualities and skills you possess in abundance. You have enough with more left over. This realization can be the beginning of something bigger than you have imagined. Now, if we ever were to work together independently, we would spend individual time on each of these pillars to pull out some of that wealth under your feet of whatever it is that you're packing down that you could be taken for granted, that you've not even thought about, not even processed, but you have something. Because if you weren't here, the world would miss something. People you don't even know pay attention to you would miss something. There are people who are yet to come. If you're not here, they would miss what they could have gained by your presence, by your contributions. You mean something, and there's a lot you have to share and give, but you have to identify it. So you do have a surplus. It pays to spend some time and to consider some of what that is. The fifth pillar, let me pause. Anybody want to share something, a quality that you know you have, or that you've been told you have? What's something? What have people told you? It could be parents, could be friends, could be somebody who doesn't even care for you much, but they identified something. And sometimes, even if they're maybe have been considered negative qualities, it's not. Anybody familiar while you're thinking? Because I do want to hear from you. Have you heard that? Familiar with the movie Lean on Me? Okay, it's pretty old. You know, the principal, Joe Clark, it took a school in New Jersey and turned it around. It was a failing school, and yeah. Okay, so there was a scene in there where this some of the students met him in the hallway. They had some complaints, and one of them was a young girl, young lady. This is high school, so she wasn't little, but she was a student. And she was like, Mr. Clark, she was complaining about something with her schedule and how they've changed it and done this, that, and the other. And he said, you know what? These are not his exact words, but this was the sentiment, as I got it. With a mouth like that, you ought to study law. But she was on it. She was telling him what she needed, what wasn't right, and what needed to get right. But she was good at it. She was articulate, expressing herself, and she wasn't rude or condescending. But the point was, something's got to be done. And this is not it. And that's interesting. So somebody else might say, you talk too much. But someone else can realize, you know what, you have an ability. If you fine tune that thing, turn it around, it can make you some money. So things don't have to be negative depending on how we frame it and how we use it. How we frame it and how we use it. So let me hear, what is something you've been told? You can put it in the chat. You can unmute a quality that you have that is something good. And I see you thinking. Let me see who else. Let me scroll past. Okay. See you thinking. As you are, don't stop. Because even if you don't come to it on this call tonight, I want you to identify some of your strengths. We more easily sometimes identify our weaknesses, the things that we're not good at. But here's the point, everybody has them, right? To be good at something means you're not as good at something else. So if you find my weakness first, then just know that I have another area that makes up for that where I'm really good. And then if you see my good, since I'm a human, there's an area that I'm not really good in. Some things would probably never be more than a C, maybe C plus in naturally. And maybe with a lot of effort and training, we could do some things. We may not be interested in it though, but it would take a lot. Other things, we're that naturally. Being able to identify what that is, it means something. And the fifth one, the fifth pillar, as you're still thinking, if you think of something, you can raise your digital hand or you can put something in the chat. Our fifth pillar for emotional recovery is emotional success. Okay. And before we go there, back up, I do have one. Somebody said strong. And that means something because when life happens and you naturally are not one to be blown over by the waves and the wind, and you're able to stand strong, people need that strength. Sometimes they attach naturally to people who have it because they just don't. So having strength means a lot. Now, it doesn't always mean you identify it as important or as a big deal because it's just natural. It's just who you are, what you do. You didn't ask for it. You probably were born this way. However, that is something that's a real benefit, and there's some call it a blessing, and it's pretty amazing as well. Um, Not to be taken lightly, and there are people who need that. Yes, that's huge. I see another one. Thank you for putting them in the chat now. Supportive. That is good also. We all need support. We've been talking about that. That's one of our first pillars. Some people are that naturally. And if you know some people, there are some who really, if you need support and you're reaching out and you may speak to a person, talk to a person, some people who are supportive, they listen and they may respond accordingly. Others who've not caught themselves, they listen to interject. They jump in, they take it over. And whatever it is, they find a way to sometimes make it about them. So if you're sharing something, oh yeah, me too, because well, you know what? It's on them. I have a dear person. I love her dearly. But not but. And if I choose to share something, I can set my clock that after she gets information, she's taking it, and now I'm listening to her. And I'm thinking, didn't I call you? I called you to share this with you. But now I'm listening. You good at what you do. I don't know if she's aware of it though, but she takes it over every time. But a real supportive person doesn't do that. They are able to hear you and support you naturally, whatever that may be. And that's another gift. That's another gift. That's another gift. Okay. If somebody else has one, be sure to put that in there. Emotional success, our fifth pillar, we get to determine what success looks like for ourselves. And I touched on that last night. No one else can tell you what is success for you. You'd have to agree to it. It'd have to be something that you want or need. And setting and accomplishing goals leads to success. Hey, you feel good when you set something, your mind is something, and you actually do the thing. So maybe, how many of you decided, I'm going to go to this 3-day challenge and I'm going to go every day? I don't know. That's setting something because that's not easy. Each day is its own. Each day is its own, and it has something new to handle. And sometimes you really could just sit on that couch, whew, and do something else. You depending on what day you had. So having that intention is one thing, but actually following the course to do it is another. But it's so rewarding. I had my feelings about it too, leading up to it, and like, oh, okay, I know, got to do this, got to prepare for this, that, and the other. But I stayed the course. And when it's over, it's another kind of feeling of, ooh, I feel good. I did that thing. Whatever it is, when you set your mind and you see something through, there's a reward for that naturally, internally, that we can appreciate. So if it's a challenge, then that could have been for some, but overcoming a challenge, it can lead to success because you look back, you were successful in that thing. That whatever it was to take from you, whatever it cost you, you actually succeeded because you overcame it. It didn't overcome you. It's one or the other. We overcome the thing or the thing overcomes us. Now I'll say if that happens and we get overcome, it can happen. We're not dead, so we can get up again. And I got a little special message for that at the end today. We get up again and then get up again. And that's success because it wouldn't be success if we stayed down there in the gutter. I mean, that's easier maybe, right? It's not going to move. But to actually desire and set your mind to it and then follow it through, I'm getting up. It's hard again, but I'm going to get up again. I'm still getting up. And that's where that strength comes in. Whoever's strong can last longer sometimes because that's strength. And if you're supportive or having support, it helps you keep on doing it too, because there are times you have to get up, and that's success. People help us to success, I'll say. It's not just us alone, whether we have the support or the strength we're getting help and support for our journey. Overcoming leads to success. Think about something you've overcome. That means something because that means it didn't overcome you, at least not that time. Our emotional success is felt in our bodies and it's reflected in our lifestyles. So remember I said at the beginning, when we are not feeling good, we feel it. Our chest, our blood pressure, knots in our stomach. We feel what's some other things we feel when we don't feel good? Just give me a word. You can unmute. Lethargic, um, headaches. Give me something. Yeah, keep coming. What else?
That's what I was about to say, headache.
Headache, can't eat. What else can you not do? Stressed, can't sleep, and stress can kill you. That stress, woo, it's a beast, and it triggers everything. So when we are not good, our bodies are telling the truth, even if our mouths don't, or our minds. If we're like, oh no, I'm okay, but you're not. Our bodies will tell the truth. But when we practice being successful, like we overcoming challenges, that's a challenge, that's a big one. Woo, I'm overcoming. And it doesn't mean it goes away. It just means I'm not overcome by it. I'm not overcome. That's success because some of those things could be meant to take us out and under. But I'm still here. I'm still here and I'm still here. So overcoming leads to our success and our emotional success is felt in our bodies. So someone else can't tell me how I'm successful. I know. And you know. You only know because you know what you deal with and you know how it impacts you. So when those headaches stop, when we're able to eat and keep something down, when we're able to actually sleep maybe through the night, our pressure is down, whatever else, heart rate beating normally, we have some energy. That's success because we can't do much good when we don't have good things going on in our bodies. It depletes us of our energy. We have to just lay down or we act up, act out. It's not a pretty picture and it's not good for us. But success is when our bodies will let us know when we're taking care of ourselves. And it's reflected also through our lifestyles, not just in your body, but when you feel good, you do better things. I told you all this week I've walked. Well, I felt good and that makes me want to do good. When you feel good, it makes you want to do good. And when you do good, you keep feeling good. It's a cycle. Now, consistency is the thing because we don't always continue what we start, but we can start again. We can start again. Consistency is important in all of this because when you get to success, you rinse and repeat it, but in the sense that you are now living it in a way that you're naturally able to support others on their journey because life is going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening to others as well. But in you living successfully, it naturally it ripples out and it affects others. It just naturally does. And when you see opportunity, you feel it in a healthy way, as opposed to certain things you can't participate in. You can't help anybody because you need so much help yourself. But when we get better, as we are healthier, and our bodies will let us know, then we're in a different space. So the question is, any comments on emotional success? I just want to know what will success look like for you? What will that look like in your body, in your lifestyle? If you have some emotional success, how will it look? It's hard to go to what we can't picture. Picture it, have something to attain to, some goal. Will you rest well? Will you smile more? Will you be less snappy? Will you get into an activity that you enjoy? Anybody love art? Are you creative? Oh, got
I
you.
love
I
art.
like this. What'd you say? Art?
I love art and I
Love
love
art.
doing activities.
Good, good,
And
good.
my mom very creative because she thinks she says she knows that I would think more outside of the box and come up with different ideas how to do a project. And even now we are getting ready for our sneaker ball Friday and for our spring fest on the 9th of May. So we're trying to come up with a lot of activities for the kids to do. So I know I gotta order this Tic Tac thing for outside for the kids to do for the fall. No, spring fest. And I know they're gonna enjoy it. And me and my teacher trying to come up with different, activities and trying to get with the other teachers to come up with different activities for the kids because we wanted to have it for the end of the year fest before they graduate and
Okay.
before school is out.
So I'll say this, when you feel better, you're able to be more engaged in life. You can create fun activities for the
Right.
children. You can engage in the arts and activities that you yourself enjoy because you can actually do things that and actually get enjoyment out of them. When we're so depleted, we can't enjoy simple pleasures. It's not fun anymore. But when you feel better, you have some success of your own emotionally, you can actually enjoy the activities and parts of life that you enjoy because of coming from a healthier state of being. And then you're giving it to others, sharing with little children. They love to have fun every day, all day. So that's a good thing. Someone else, what do you? Oh,
They
I
do.
did get a message. Let's see, I did get a message. Okay, emotional success is when I can think straight and I can write. Mm. Think straight is always big. That's huge. First of all, our mind. Woo. So having that right, being able to think straight, that can't be downplayed. Anybody knows that's big. Our mind guides everything else. If that's not in sync, if that's not right, then none of us is really right. But having our mind straight, where we can think clearly, think straight, it means so much. Thank you for putting that there. And I can write. Okay, so we may have a writer in the group. You might be expressive and you can write and put your thoughts down on paper and do it in such a way that it evokes emotion, it brings understanding, clarity, entertainment, whatever it is that you do. But you can do that when you're in a better state, when you have emotional success. Beautiful. Thank you for that. What's another one? What will it look like for you? And while I'm waiting on your answer, I'm going to say, I know when it was a tougher time for me, I realized at some point I didn't hardly smile. I guess I didn't feel like I had anything to smile about. I didn't feel it. It wasn't natural. And I realized it at some point, like, I don't even, but I got what I needed. I had to doctor on myself. I had to do some things, and it took a while, but it came back. It came back naturally. So I was able to smile and enjoy. I love to laugh and have fun, cut up, but you can't do that if you're so depleted and drained. What about who I haven't heard from? You have one. What will it look like for you? Uh, oh, mm. That's all I can say. Oh, she said,
Mm.
live instead of just existing. Yeah, we live because we're not dead. That just happens. You wake up, you're still here, so you're living, you're alive. But you're not, I mean, you're existing. That's what I'm trying to say. But you're not living intentionally. We're not thriving. You're just here. Yeah. And that's draining. That's not good. That's just being here, but sometimes not even always for some able to appreciate being here. I'm just here because I'm not gone. I'm just still here. But being able to live and enjoy life. And my one of my that tags, my message is empowered. We are empowered to live well. Not just live. I want to live well. I want to enjoy my time while I'm here. I want some souvenirs from this life I'm in. Enjoy, like you go on a trip, you get some souvenirs to remind you of where you were, what you had, and the fun you had. Yes, I'm here, so let's make this count.
Right.
I didn't have to be here, but since I am, I need to kick my heels up. Sometimes I want to
That's big.
enjoy and in a way that is not going to be harmful to me later or to someone else, because a lot of times people get some enjoyment out of things that may cost them later. So we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about things that you can enjoy that are healthy and good and wholesome and that you build on. We want the good stuff. So, yes, living, not just existing. That will be emotional success for you. Woo, you all, when these things come to play, That's success. And it doesn't stop there, because then we'll do whatever else comes to us, whatever opportunities, we'll make some, we'll acknowledge some, do whatever we need to do. But we have to get these first things first. We need to be able to think straight, so you can write, live instead of just existing, and enjoy art in your activities, being engaged in things that show we're alive and are happy to be, and being able to smile, laugh, have joy, interact well. Because there is a lot of joy to be had. There's a lot of pain, sadness, and sickness in the world. We got that. And it's bad. We don't like that. And if you have any kind of compassion for people, it hurts. Even if you don't know the people, even if you know of those things, that's draining. I have to determine how much of the news I'm going to be a part of, because it gets me. And it doesn't get everybody. Some people love it, and it doesn't bother them, and I'm not upset at them. But I know what works for me. I can't do too much of it. But there's also a lot of joy, life, love, and goodness out there. You ever notice whenever there's a natural disaster or a national, people come from everywhere to come help. They had to take off work for that. They got to use some gas and drive, maybe even take a plane for people they don't know. Well, look at that. You all right. What about when people hold the door for you and they didn't have to? Because sometimes if you're at a distance, you might try to hurry up. Other times, some could just let it fall. But others intentionally take their time, hold it, and make sure that they just want to make sure you're in there safe, you're good. When they say good morning and mean it, whether they know you or not, like there's a lot of good out there. We can't dismiss that because of the other. We get to play up what is good. It's up to us. And on that note, one of the times I remember going to a store. It was a clothing store, and I was purchasing something. I forget all of the details, but I know there was a lady behind me who was upset. I don't know if she was upset that I got to the counter before her. Something, she was upset, and I didn't notice it until the end when she had something to say, and it kind of threw me off. And I left the store not good, because I'm glad I don't remember what she said now, because at some point, you just need to let stuff go anyway. But I just remember how it made me feel, and I wasn't feeling good about it. And I had some choice thoughts about that lady, not necessarily good, but just keeping it real. But I left that store and went to the grocery store. And as I was going to the grocery store, someone else had a cart with him or her. I don't remember if it was a man or woman. And he had to, let's say he had to go out of his way to bring me the cart. And he did. Like someone did extra just to make sure I didn't have to go. So I'm like, okay, I have two of these situations in the same hour. Which one am I going to take away? Which one am I going to think about? The lady who threw me off, and she couldn't do it if I didn't let her. We don't have to allow people to get our goat. You don't have to. You're just like, too bad, so sad. We don't have to. So it's up to us, because no one holds the strings to us, and they can pull them and make us respond one way or another. We get to choose that. But the other person went out of his way to do something nice. Which one am I going to capitalize on? So the point is, you have both out here in this world. Which one will you choose to capitalize on? There's a lot of good. There's a lot of joy. There's a beautiful sunrise and sunset every day. Every day. It's not missed. We get that every day. And they're stars. Sometimes you can't see them, sometimes you can. I don't normally look up enough. I need to do it more. But you can see those. I went outside today and I saw a turtle. He was cute to me. I said, look at here. I got to see him go inside his shell. He might have was nervous I was going to do something. I don't know. Then he kept walking. And I went back out to check on him later. He was gone. But I wasn't going to keep him, because he has more space out there. He can walk and enjoy himself than being in some box just so I can sit and look at him. But the point is, there are things all around every day that are nice. Maybe if your child leaves, goes to school, and say, love you, mama. That means something. That means something. So the thing is, what you choose to focus on, it affects you, and it determines more of your success. If you want to feel successful, surround yourself by things that will give you that best chance. Frame your mind and your thoughts, your perspectives, to appreciate those things. And Norman Vincent Peale, a writer of Power of Positive Thinking, I've read that and I appreciate it. There's something in his book that says, if you want to have a mind full of peace, merely fill it full of peace. If you fill it with that other stuff, then that's what it's going to be full with. But if you fill it with peace, peaceful thoughts, peaceful readings, peaceful settings, scenery, activities, then that's what you're filling it with. That's what it's going to be full of. Those are choices that we make. We can be intentional about them. Anyone, before I close on this point, that a takeaway from, let's see here, from emotional success, or even even your surplus. Okay. If you've done your homework, if you did it yesterday, I want you to do the same thing today. And even if you didn't, let's do it today. This is the last day, but it's for you. And the first question is, what accountability systems do you have in place? And how do they help you maintain consistency? Okay, that's one. Because I said we can start all kinds of activities, but staying the course, staying steady with them, staying consistent, that's something else. But we do need the supports in place to help us do that. I have here, Malik wrote, I always have peace of mind. Oh, when I'm at home or enjoying my weekend, that's good. When I'm at home or enjoying my weekend. It's so good when our home is a place of peace. Yeah. And then your weekend, you look forward to it. It's like every week you're going to have a vacation, and it's called Saturday and Sunday. I'm not going to work, and I'm only doing what I want to do. It's your own vacation. You don't have to spend money, go out of town and pack bags to have a vacation. So knowing that you look forward to that, and you're going to have that every week. No one can change the days of the week. You're going to have that come every week. So if you have the job that you know you're off and what you just do what you do, you're going to have that time. So that's a good thing. Appreciating things that are natural, that gives you benefit anyway. It's nothing you have to go buy. It's something you can appreciate. And oftentimes, in some cases, it's things that we take for granted. But when you stop doing that, you realize how much you're surrounded by. That's good. That's really good. And if that's what I choose to focus on, then that's what I'm going to choose to focus on, because that will make me feel one way and empower me to do one thing. Wherein, if I take a different route, that's going to affect me too, but in a much different way, and one that I don't prefer. The second one, when you reflect, what qualities and/or skills do you possess? And we shared some. Creativity, like in art, strength, natural strength, naturally supportive, okay? And if you have some more qualities that you've identified, put those in place. Put those in the chat. I'm missing one too. Let me see what this is. And then the second question, oh yeah, okay. When you reflect, what qualities and skills do you, oh, I just did that one. The third one, what have been your light bulb moments? And what's holding you back from more? You know, do you have some things that have come to you and it's like, And sometimes it's nothing new, because anything that's true, it's not new. It's been here. No one's creating more truth. We're identifying it. We're aligning with it. Sometimes we're packaging it in a way where finally it's like, yeah. So it's not new, but it comes to us almost as if it were. But it's important because now we're ready maybe to receive it. Now maybe we're ready to do something about it. Now we can process it differently. But I didn't forget my first question from the beginning. What's one thing in this moment, if you didn't answer, that you're grateful for? So some of you, if you did, you're off the hook. But if you didn't, you're not. Okay, here it goes. I love doing my pins and keychains, or being creative, doing things for activities. I have it work. That's good. And it seems like you have the perfect job, because you have plenty of activity to do when you work with children. You have plenty activities. So if that's the case, you may as well enjoy them too. I do remember I had a class once that with younger ones too, and we would send home homework, for little children. They couldn't read, couldn't write. So at this point, you was homework. But this is how it went. And well, sometimes it would be something to color. And at some point, we had to start sending two in this one little girl's folder because hers would come back. Her mama had done it every time. I think the mama really was looking forward to that work. So we just decided we're gonna put two in here because please let the little child do hers too. Let her do some. So we put one in there for the mama, and she was proud of it. I think she was talking the mother when she came to the class for something. She was proud. I'm happy for you. So we're just gonna put two of them in there. So you get to have one, and please let baby girl have hers. But the point is, it can be fun doing things like that. If you enjoy arts and activities, it's fun. Um, before we close, so yes, that is great. Anyone else? You have something that you're grateful for, or an aha moment, something that has come to you with more clarity. Okay. So I have something I'm
I'm
going to, oh,
grateful
yes,
that
your internet is
I am so
messing.
grateful and thankful. I mean, I'm grateful that I'm going to be able to see my mom graduate from college. We
That's
are
nice.
going to Phoenix, Arizona next
That's
week, and me and my son is going there to be excited and grateful that she, I'm her support system. She's my supporter. So we are grateful to knowing that she's graduating to get her master's in education.
well, look at that. Look at this cheer I'm putting up here. Do you see my little party hat? That's for your mama. I'm so happy for her. Congratulations to you and your family for her accomplishment. That's awesome. All right, all right. Anyone else? You have something else you want to say about what you are grateful for, thankful for, or anything that you have become more aware of or appreciative of through these sessions? Anything in particular? And since I won't put you on the spot, you still can, if you want to put something in the chat, you can, but you're not put on the spot. I want to share what I have. So if we can do that now, um, I'm going to stop the recording. So let me, and it'll just be us for a minute. Okay, hold on. Oh, I have one more.